Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course the law of attraction. Thank you for tuning in to today's reading. And in this reading video, I am going to be doing a collective reading and energy update. So I am going to be taking a look at the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine collective. This is just a way to better conceptualize or break up the energies, so to speak, and take a deeper look at what is going on in the collective. So when I refer to the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine, these are energies that exist within all of us. We all do have a balance of masculine and feminine essence, and usually we refer to ourselves as a divine masculine or divine feminine when we have a dominant polarity of one or the other, so a dominant masculine or dominant feminine energy, and are on this path of spiritual awakening and spiritual expansion. So these messages could apply to those internal energies, but equally they could apply to your external world as well, because you will see many of these energies reflected in connections, relationships, interactions, etc. Now, with that being said, for some of you, this may be a twin flame reading if you are a twin flame, because twin flames tend to experience the manifestations of these divine masculine and divine feminine energies in a very physical, real-time way in their relationships and connections. Now, with that being said, I do channel many different waves of twin flames and groups of people, both the divine masculine and divine feminine. So at the end of the day, my readings are just meant to be a confirmation for what your intuition already knows, because really it's your intuition that is guiding your life. So if something isn't connecting or resonating for you, then trust that intuitive guidance, trust that that particular message may not be meant for you and could be meant for someone else. Now, while I'm shuffling here and tuning into your energies, I also want to say that if you do like the video and subscribe, this is a form of energy transfer. And this allows me to pick up more easily on your vibration and channel more specifically for you and your situation. I got the letters C and H. Those could be letters in someone's first or last name here. I'm also seeing something about the month of January. So January could have been a birth month for someone, but we also have rest and rejuvenation in the reverse position. So I'm picking up on the energy of someone either having trouble sleeping or staying up late thinking really in their head. I'm not really getting a polarity on this yet, so this could be a divine masculine or divine feminine that I'm referring to here. In fact, for whoever I'm speaking to, this could be affecting both energies. So if you are, for example, a divine feminine connected to a divine masculine, it's as though the both of you are each feeling restless, having trouble sleeping. With all tied up reversed, I am picking up that regardless of what is consciously on your mind, whoever I'm speaking to, when you do have these difficulties sleeping, that what's actually occurring is there's a breaking loose of remnant stuck energy within yourself that is happening at a really deep subconscious level. So how this could manifest consciously is, for some that I'm tapping into, you might find yourself lying awake thinking about the past. You might be feeling very nostalgic, thinking about a past person, past situations, things. I'm particularly getting that there's a divine masculine here who has been thinking really heavily about things that he could have done differently. I'm hearing someone say, I wish I held your heart better. So Divine Feminine, if you've been having trouble sleeping or feeling a bit restless and not really knowing why, or finding yourself feeling nostalgic looking back, this actually could be energy that you are picking up on empathically from a Divine Masculine who is connected to you. I'm seeing the number 444. This masculine, like I said, has been thinking really heavily about things that he wished he did differently. And the thing about this masculine's thoughts are, they have a sense of urgency. I'm hearing he's getting impatient for the movement forward of this connection and for the growth within himself that is necessary for the movement forward of this connection. With woman holding a coin reversed, this is traditionally my karmic feminine energy. So the fact that this card is reversed tells me that the masculine here is saying, it's funny, I heard a car engine and I just imagined someone driving away, like leaving. And I feel that that represents the masculine really leaving behind these karmic feminine energies, or karmic energies in general. It doesn't have to be a karmic energy manifested in the form of a person, a karmic relationship or connection. I'm getting a black cat for someone, so that could be a symbolism. I'm picking up the masculine here, really detaching from these karmic patterns, behaviors, connections. I'm hearing that if there was a separation caused as a result of the masculine engaging with a karmic pattern, a karmic behavior, a karmic relationship, just knowing that that particular karmic situation or thing was the cause of, in his mind, losing you, Divine Feminine, causes him so much pain that just being around this person or thing intensifies the pain of your absence. If there is some type of a separation here, which is what is deterring the masculine from returning back to these people, patterns, and things. But at the same time, I get that although he's been cutting ties and detaching from these karmic energies and situations, there is still this feeling of voidedness, of being in some type of a void. I got the name Charles for someone. Yeah, with contract in the reverse position, I'm feeling a divine masculine saying, I've broken free from the karmic contract, but now what? And what Spirit is trying to push him to with Caring Connections upright is, okay, you are detaching from these karmic energies, karmic patterns, Divine Masculine. You're in this void. Now it's time to truly learn how to open your heart to supportive love, to mutually balanced and reciprocated love. I'm hearing afraid to give his love, his care, his heart. The strange thing about the masculine coming through here is he could so intensely love another person. In fact, this may have been the scenario with some Divine Feminines listening. He can feel so much love, affection, adoration, to the point that you, Divine Feminine, can palpably sense this love, this admiration, this adoration. And yet, in the past and with this current pattern, he would not do anything about it. He would feel all of this love, admiration, adoration, and then the fear would come up like a block. In fact, there was even more fear when it came to you, Divine Feminine, because you were and are someone that this masculine truly loves. It's almost as though someone is coming through here who I'm getting, potentially this could come off as emotional immaturity to a Divine Feminine, but what I'm really getting is someone who either didn't have an example of a truly balanced, harmonious, loving connection growing up in their life, or who for some reason was wounded throughout their childhood or early in their life, or took on some kind of wounded patterning as a soul for the collective consciousness to heal that patterning, but almost got a bit lost in it and was, as a result of that wounding, incapable of really showing up in the physical in the way that you desired and deserved divine feminine. And I feel that the masculine is consciously waking up to this truth, waking up to the realization that it isn't enough to simply feel that admiration for the divine feminine, that energy has to go somewhere. It has to be exuded. It has to be channeled into physical words or physical action. In fact, I'm picking up on a major heart chakra kind of back and forth energy between a divine feminine and divine masculine here. The number 16 could be significant to someone. That also could be the number 16. But I really want to take a deeper look at this energy because, again, I'm picking up that the masculine has broken free of some kind of karmic contract or pattern that was weighing really heavily on his heart or was blocking his heart for a long time. And yet now he is in this state of voidedness. And with envy upright, the masculine is really feeling that void intensely right now. It's almost as though the masculine is being taught by life circumstances that his guides are coordinating, throwing at him potentially from his perspective. Some of this might feel like the rug being pulled out from under him. But through these experiences, the masculine is learning how to open his heart to giving love. Whereas I'm seeing that in the reverse, the divine feminine is opening her heart to learning how to receive love, because for many divine feminines, there was a comfortability in over giving, in over self-sacrifice, in, I don't want to say over empathizing with others, but I will say more accurately, being a highly empathic, sensitive being without self-honoring, self-respecting boundaries. That's how the divine feminine may have existed in the past, because that was something she was either trained into or simply comfortable with. And I see that in past times, the divine masculine and divine feminine here connected in that way, where there was kind of this pushing and pulling back and forth. The divine masculine would close himself off to giving love. He would kind of shut himself down and retreat in on himself. And the divine feminine would overcompensate by having a lack of boundaries, by overgiving, by sacrificing herself and really dishonoring her divine self in the process. But as there's been this collective karmic clearing, divine counterparts, twin flames, whatever this connection is for you, for most, this will be a twin flame situation. I'm seeing someone wearing white here, like white clothing. In the past, because it was pre-collective karmic clearing, and of course, the process of karmic clearing is ongoing, but as we've been shifting from a 3D to a 5D new earth reality and mentality, what's been happening here is there has been this clearing out of the denser, heavier energies. And those of you listening to this video have played a really integral role in what I'm calling here the collective karmic clearing, especially in those initial stages at this point in modern human history. Many of you actually incarnated into very karmically dense situations. So you could have had very heavy karmic contracts with family members that were being resolved and cleared in this lifetime that resulted in this ripple effect of clearing out karma for the collective. You also may have been incarnated into what you would consider to be very dark, heavy, or intense life circumstances. I'm hearing why me. there may have been times where, for whoever I'm speaking to here, you wondered, why did I have to take on circumstances of so much trauma, of so much intensity? The human self would look at this and say, it just doesn't feel fair sometimes. But the reason that you took on so much is because you had a very specific mission here on this planet. I'm hearing that for some starseeds, light workers, twin flames, those on some path of awakening or ascension. And by the way, although I do talk often about twin flame connections specifically because I am a twin flame, my soul chose this as a vehicle for my own awakening. So it's easier for me to connect in energetically and channel for that particular collective. But do keep in mind that there is no one better or worse path of ascension or awakening. There are only vehicles. So twin flame is one vehicle to awaken, and there are other vehicles as well. So if you don't resonate with being a twin flame, it doesn't make you any lesser as a soul. There are simply just different pathways that we elect to choose for different reasons. Those who choose twin flame path are ultimately choosing to train themselves and therefore the collective more deeply into the frequency of unconditional love, which is a very high vibrational frequency. And this process of training to the frequency of love through twin flame path is playing an important role in really stabilizing the light on the planet, stabilizing those higher vibrational frequencies. And also keep in mind that if you are a twin flame, this is a kind of energy work that you are doing at a very, very deep level. So this isn't happening just at the physical level. In fact, at this point in the collective ascension, it doesn't matter whether or not you are physically in what we used to refer to as union with your twin flame, because the true union between twin flames is this energetic balance. And when you come into that energetic balance and harmony and begin embodying that frequency of unconditional love, you come into an energetic union with your twin, regardless of your physical circumstances or physical 3D relationships or connections, that exudes an incredibly powerful energetic frequency. Now, of course, as I always say, when you do stabilize that internal energetic union, this actually clears the way, this opens the way for potential harmonious 3D interaction and connection, and even harmonious relationship with your twin flame, if that is what you desire to experience in the 3D world. And those desires do speak to pieces of your soul's intention that you incarnated here for the purpose of living. If you desire something, it truly is a possibility for you. So when I talk about energetic union and how that is really the mission of twin flames, how that is really bringing the light and the love to this planet, bringing that unconditional love frequency, of course, I'm not excluding that if you desire to physically unite with your twin flame, that couldn't be a possibility as well, because of course the embodiment of unconditional love and that inner union is what opens the way to all harmonious physical twin flame interaction as well. But I am getting that you, Divine Feminine, at this time are showing up as a bit closed off, a bit guarded in 3D, but this is just because you're really working on your heart space, particularly when it comes to self-love. With woman holding a heart in the upright position and walking away, and the World card. What I'm getting from these cards is that you, Divine Feminine, may have had to walk away from a lot of people, places, relationships, situations in your life. There's someone I'm tapping into here who has felt as though they've been constantly saying goodbye to a person, to a place, to a job. You may be someone who has felt as though you've lived like 10 lives in one because of the way that you have shifted so many times in this life. You may have broken away from groups of friends, from jobs, from physical locations, from relationships. And what you found is every time you moved away from something that you'd outgrown spiritually, you opened yourself to expanding. But I'm hearing you were the one that I never wanted to walk away from, because I feel that ultimately, although you're very accustomed to needing to separate yourself from the crowd or from even a past version of yourself in order to expand to your next level of consciousness, you may have actually ultimately had to walk away from someone who is extremely close to your heart. So this could be a friend, or this may not even be a person. This could be a place. This could be a life path. Maybe you were on a certain path in life and you loved a lot of things about this path, but deep in your soul, you began to feel as though you were outgrowing the version of yourself that was aligned with that pathway. And you felt your soul calling for expansion, calling to align with something higher. And the energy here is still holding a lot of love for that thing that you've outgrown, but feeling as though you can't really fit yourself back into it because you've already grown beyond it. For some of you, this could be your divine masculine. This could be a relationship where you are holding space for that connection or that relationship to transform into something that is aligned with the now more expanded version of your soul. But quite simply, you're feeling that it's just not there yet. I got a J name. This could be the name Josh for someone. And the reason you're feeling that it isn't there yet is it doesn't feel aligned with your new sense of your own value. With appreciation in the reverse position and action reverse, your guides have been halting you, stopping you from taking action towards this person or thing or life path, because they are essentially telling you you've outgrown it. And you have to hold the space for its transformation. You can't go back to that old version of you that fit inside of it. With appreciation reversed, the way you know that this thing is something you've outgrown and can't take action towards at this time is because, again, it no longer, I want to say like it no longer appreciates you in your true value, in your true worth. You've moved towards a state of higher value, vibrationally speaking, energetically speaking, with door to value in the upright position. And this really represents, by the way, a microcosm at the individual level of what is really happening collectively, this shift from the 3D consciousness to 5D consciousness. And you are really on the leading edge of that. You are a path forger. That word path forger just kept coming up so strongly as I was tuning into your energy. But the thing is, what you've outgrown no longer appreciates you. And what I mean by that is it no longer values you in the sense that it doesn't align yet. I put that yet in parentheses in that sentence because for many of you, this thing, person, situation, whatever it is, could actually transform to meet you at your value. But whatever this is at the moment in time does not align with your new sense of who you are as a soul, as a spiritual being here on earth, your new sense of your value. And so I feel that when you are truly stepping into this value, fully honoring yourself, fully loving yourself, it's as though at the moment this thing feels repelled from you because you are reflecting to it the work it needs to do to expand to meet you where you are. Now, again, this could be a relationship or a job. This could be even something that you used to love doing. a hobby or some kind of path you were on in life that just doesn't really resonate with you anymore, but you're waiting to feel inspired to how this may fit into your new life or your new version of self. So take this as it connects with you personally. Door to personal healing and happiness in the upright position. Whoever I'm speaking to here, your life path has been dominated by a lot of loneliness. Now, this is in part because of what I said earlier with you needing to walk away from things, people, or situations in your life in order to expand yourself. So you may have again had to say a lot of goodbyes, had to let a lot of people or social groups go, which may have left you feeling lonely. But this path of loneliness that you may feel on at times is actually the path of the leader. You are one who goes out ahead of the pack to forge the way, to stabilize this new pathway that then others can follow. However, this necessitates from you the willingness to embrace that loneliness of the leader. Because whether this is leading in a relationship, meaning if you are a divine feminine, this is holding that vibration of self-love, really embodying that unconditional love frequency to hold the space for the divine masculine, or whether this is breaking free of some other form of limiting belief system. This is requiring you, I just keep hearing, to have the courage to let go, to have the courage to let go of what is no longer serving the most expanded version of yourself, because the most expanded version of yourself is what is serving the highest good of the collective. It's kind of this ironic circle where you might often feel as though you have to go against the grain of what other people may think that they want you to be or to do. You might have to let go of certain relationships or connections, but ultimately that letting go is allowing you to expand into your highest version of self. And it's actually that highest version of self that is serving the highest good of everyone around you and of the collective consciousness generally. So in the extended version of this reading on Patreon, I am going to be channeling more into these very powerful shifts and changes that are happening both individually and collectively on the planet right now. And my guides are emphasizing that word now because of the patience card in the reverse position, like the time is now. That's why many divine masculines are feeling this vague sense of urgency and even this restlessness that might keep them up at night. But that's also why, divine feminine, you might be feeling the push into some new project or endeavor, feeling the push to move in some way in your life or take some leap of faith that we've been channeling a lot about recently. So in the extended version of the reading, we're going to go deeper into all of these messages. I am going to be honing in more on the divine masculine energy as well, channeling more specifically for the masculine, since a lot of this reading here has been directed to the divine feminine. But divine feminine, we will be channeling more messages from your spirit guides, your higher self, whatever divine forces you personally connect with. So if you are feeling resonance with this reading and you would like to join me in the extended reading on Patreon, you can do so by following the link in the pinned comment and description box under this video. Lots of powerful and unexpected information coming through, so thank you to all of you who are here, quite literally co-creating all of these readings, all of these channeled messages, because we are all co-creators by tuning in, whether it's now or in the future. Time doesn't exist at an energetic level, so your frequency is felt and it positively impacts the reading. So thank you for being such an essential part of this community we're building here on YouTube. If anything did connect with you today, I would love to hear from you in the comments under the video. And of course, if you do feel guided to continue with me to the extended Patreon reading, the link to that is under the video. Have a beautiful, magical rest of your day, and I will talk to you again in the next reading.